has since been removed, but the incident has raised questions about injustices homeless people face. One man is trying to raise awareness about what it's like to live on the streets, and he is on a cross-Canada tour to do just that. Jason McComb is a homeless man from St. Thomas, Ontario, and he started a non-profit organization called Homeless Happens, Helping Hands. In April, he left the Terry Fox Memorial in St. John's, Newfoundland, with the hopes of walking all the way to Victoria, British Columbia. Well, he arrived in Quebec City on Saturday. Earlier today, he met the CBC's Peter Tardier on Rue Saint-Jean with his travel backpack, 3 pairs of shoes, and the will to walk thousands of kilometers. Jason McComb started by explaining to Peter how he began living on the streets.
My mother had left me with her ex-husband. She just moved out, and we had some differences. December 19th, 1993. We had some differences. My stepfather and I. Is just the way I leave it. And he made it clear I had to get out, and I couldn't find my mother. So I lived on the streets, and because I was 17 years old and I wanted to finish high school, I did my best to survive. I did couch surfing, wore out my welcome, as I call it, at certain places. And I slept inside the boiler room of the high school I was going to, slept in apartment building hallways, and nothing was available governmental-wise for someone of my age. And I wanted to finish high school. However, that didn't take place because I got desperate, and I started having myself thrown in jail intentionally, hospital visits, and whatever I could do to get off the streets. And that's a big part of this walk. I want to change it so that people, not just kids, but nobody has to go that route, any of the roads that I've gone for survival. I've gone through the grinder, so to speak, and I went through it, and I'm hoping that the reason I went through it is so that others don't have to. It's my big hope.
And how old are you now?
37. The last time I ended up homeless in July of 2012, I was in the hospital with weight issues. I was struggling from weight issues. When I got out of the hospital 3 weeks later, although it wasn't the next month yet and last month's rent had been paid, my landlord moved me out because he said in his words, "Jason, I hadn't seen you gone that long before. I got panicky, didn't think I was getting August rent, so I gave your room away." And at that point, I decided I got to start standing up for people, the less fortunate. And essentially, I mean, people in a situation like myself that I was on disability benefits, still am, and just pretty much treated like second class, fifth class citizens. So I started going around Ontario and raising awareness, saying, listen, we need rights too. And then I saw, okay, you know what, I'm pretty much living a homeless life. I'm still seeing people treated like this. I'm still being treated like this, which is poorly. I got to start something. So I started my organization, Homeless Happens, Helping Hands, and I now serve on a homeless action committee for the city of St. Thomas, County of Elgin. Periodically serve as a peer for the London Homeless Coalition. They call me the outspoken thorn in the side homeless advocate because I just say I don't walk the activist way. I walk a fine line between activist and advocate, and I just make sure that people become aware that there's needs and that there's a hole here. Let's fill it, and I'll nag until it's filled.
How have you managed to put together this walk and at least to give you some of the comforts that someone would need to walk thousands of kilometers? How are you pulling this off?
I work a part-time job in St. Thomas, Ontario, as well as receive disability benefits monthly, and the High Quebec Hostel Auberge, they put me up last night. 2 nights previous, a lady from Ottawa said, listen, I found a hostel for you. You're going to stay there. A couple of hotels in the past, Quality Inn in Prince Edward Island, they said, stay with us. Comforted. Sometimes I've slept in abandoned vans, a broken down shed, apartment building hallways. I'll sleep where I can, eat what I can. A lot of times when CBC Compass on the television in Prince Edward Island aired, people were driving out asking, are you hungry, and helping me out with that. Sometimes I go hungry, sometimes I'm provided for, and I'm a survivor.
Do you have a bit of money in your pocket?
Right now, it's $3.
And you are planning on taking those $3 and walking to the next part of Quebec and on to Ontario.
After I buy a cup of coffee with it, today I'm going to be walking to Pont Rouge area in around.
That's far away.
It's only 36.4 kilometers today. Well, by the time I'm done, probably about 45 kilometers today. My longest stretch in one day was 82 kilometers. That's a good day.
So you mentioned that you have a part-time job right now. You're putting that on hold for quite some time now. What's going to happen? What's going to happen to your job? Are you going to have it when you come back?
If I've lost my job, it's really unfortunate. Maybe I'll find another one, but I'm helping people find a way while I do this.
What have been people's reactions to what you're doing right now?
For the most part, the reactions have been awesome. There have been some that, there's negativity. People can find negativity in anything. There's been a few like that. I have received messages as well as photos of people sending it to me, thanking me for inspiring them and motivating them to do something more for somebody. A young lady with a baby, I don't know how old the baby was, a child, messaged me and said, thank you. When you were in Newfoundland, you inspired a lady to help me, and we're no longer couch surfing. She got us into an apartment. She's helping us, getting us guidance through the channels that we need to go. I spoke to a number of youth groups in Newfoundland. I speak to as much of the media as I can, and I contact coalitions, committees, outreach workers, and I just say, hey, listen, I'm on my way, or I'm here, and listen, I'd like to talk to you. And a lot of times they set me up with speaking engagements to speak to their groups. And after I met with Clara Hughes in Gander, Newfoundland, it exploded for me. I started setting up speaking engagements. A couple of them slowed me down, where I had to stay in the town a couple extra days, but I don't care how long it takes to do this.
You met Clara Hughes. Who else have you met?
Prince Charles and Camilla and the Lieutenant Governor and the Premier of Nova Scotia in Halifax.
What was this?
This was when they did their tour through, I'm going to say a couple weeks ago. I've got no concept of the time right now. There's pictures in the paper of Prince Charles accepting one of my hats that say homeless happens, and he asked me what it's about, and I talked to him a little bit. He told me it was a blessing. Camilla told me it was beautiful. He accepted the hat. The agents were about ready to shoot me because they saw me handing something to him, but he said, no, put it with the roses that people were handing him. And so I got to meet him. I got to attend the set of the Trailer Park Boys and do a short video with awareness video with the Trailer Park Boys. Halifax police helped me out a lot. The RCMP pretty much saved my life in Newfoundland during a snowstorm. I've met the most diverse, just a huge conglomerate of people, and I don't even know where to begin to describe it except wow.
That was Jason McComb speaking with our Peter Tardy earlier today on Rue Saint-Jean here in Quebec City. Jason McComb is homeless from St. Thomas, Ontario, and as we heard, he's trying to walk across Canada to raise awareness about what it's like to live on the street in hopes of getting better resources to fight homelessness in Canada. Jason left St. John's, Newfoundland in April, and he plans on making it all the way to Victoria, British Columbia. Once he gets to Victoria, he plans on biking back. Jason McComb explained to Peter that one of the challenges he faces is that he suffered severe brain trauma several years ago when he was hit by a car, and that accident has left him prone to seizures, which can leave him disoriented and in severe cases unconscious. He does have medication with him to control the attacks, but he's had to be hospitalized once since his journey so far. Now you can follow Jason McComb's travels on Facebook and Twitter. TELUS lent him a BlackBerry for the length of his journey, and he regularly posts and updates and tweets and all that. So to find him on Facebook, you search Homeless Happens, and his Twitter handle is @HomelessMCJason. HomelessMCJason, and those links are on our Facebook page actually, so you can just find them quite easily there, CBC Breakaway. You'll also find pictures that our Peter Tardy took today when they met. As we heard, Jason is headed to Pont Rouge, west of Quebec City today. That's where he's been walking this afternoon, and he expects to arrive there around 7 o'clock this evening.